In 334 BC, Alexander the Great, king of Macedonia, embarked on one of the most famous military campaigns in history against the superpower of his time, the Persian Empire. He was only 20 years old at the time. His extraordinary and courageous leadership led him to victory in one battle after another. In a massive campaign that lasted 10 years, he reached the borders of the known world and built one of the largest empires in the world. Few men in history have had such a profound impact. To the Persians, he was the cursed Alexander. But to the West, he is immortalized as Alexander the Great. In ancient Greece, around 500 BC, this remote region was a center of extraordinary development in art, philosophy, and warfare. There were two great city-states, Athens, with a powerful navy, where democracy, art, drama, and philosophy flourished. Sparta, a strict military society, famous for its powerful army. In 480 BC, the two city-states united against a massive invasion by the Persian Empire. At the narrow pass of Thermopylae, a small Greek force led by 300 Spartan soldiers held off a larger Persian force for 3 days before being surrounded and killed. The Greek navy then defeated the Persian fleet at the naval battle of Salamis, although they were unable to prevent the burning of the sacred temples on the Acropolis of Athens. The following year, at the Battle of Plataea, the Greeks won a decisive land victory, forcing the Persians into a complete retreat. The next 50 years were a golden age for Greece, but rising tensions between Athens and Sparta and their allies eventually led to war, which plunged the Greek world into a devastating conflict that lasted for decades. The war, which lasted for almost a century, had exhausted and weakened the Greeks, leaving them helpless against a new power rising to the north. For centuries, the Greeks had hardly considered the mountainous kingdom of Macedonia to be Greek at all. But under King Philip II, Macedonia became a formidable military power. Among his most famous innovations was the sarissa, an 18-foot-long spear, twice the length of a standard Greek spear. This weapon was used by trained infantry called a phalanx. In 338 BC, at the Battle of Chaeronea, Philip's army crushed the combined forces of Thebes and Athens. Through peace treaties and victories, he brought most of his neighbors under control. He then united all of Greece into the Hellenic League, or Corinthian League, and declared himself supreme. Only Sparta did not join. Philip planned a grand Greek campaign against Persia, but on the night before he was to declare war, he was assassinated by his own bodyguard, a victim of internal Macedonian political strife. His 20-year-old son, Alexander, ascended the throne, brilliant, restless, a disciple of the great philosopher Aristotle, and already an accomplished military leader. He inherited his father's plans, but first he had to stabilize his own kingdom. He killed potential rivals, then suppressed rebellions in Illyria, Thessaly, and central Greece. He completely destroyed the city of Thebes and sold its inhabitants into slavery. In the spring of 334 BC, ready to attack Persia, Alexander led his army across the Hellespont into Asia Minor. His army numbered about 40,000, drawn from all over Greece. At the head of the infantry was the experienced General Parmenion. There were 9,000 Macedonian phalanx soldiers, armed with 18-foot-long sarissa spears. They were professional, trained soldiers who fought in a deep formation of 16 ranks, an impenetrable wall of spears. However, this formation was difficult to maneuver and was vulnerable to attack from the flanks or rear. So 3,000 elite infantry hypaspists, with short spears and shields, guarded the flanks of the phalanx. The second line consisted of 7,000 Greek allies and 5,000 mercenary hoplites. They carried large round shields, hoplons, and short spears. There were also Agrianian javelin throwers, Thracian and Illyrian skirmishers. The most powerful attack force was the cavalry, the companion cavalry, 1,800 elite horsemen, led by Philotas. Alexander himself led the royal squadron. On the other hand, the Persian Empire was divided into provinces called satrapies. The satraps of Asia Minor discussed strategies against Alexander. The Greek mercenary general Memnon suggested a scorched earth strategy, burning the crops and retreating, but they refused. They then decided to fight at the Granicus River. The Persian army took up positions across the river, about 10,000 cavalry in front, and Greek mercenary infantry behind. Alexander attacked quickly. He did not wait until dawn, but ordered the river crossing immediately. When he reached the middle of the river, his troops were showered with arrows and spears. Nevertheless, he himself rushed into battle. At one point, he was attacked by 2 Persian nobles. One hit his helmet, the other tried to kill him. But Black Clitus arrived in time and cut off the enemy's hand, saving Alexander's life. Finally, the Macedonian phalanx crossed the river and entered the battlefield. The Persian cavalry broke and fled. The Greek mercenaries were surrounded and killed. Alexander had won a great victory. Asia Minor now lay at his mercy, but the Persian Empire still held vast wealth and power and had begun mobilizing its resources to confront him. If Alexander hoped to conquer it and secure his place in history, he would have to face Darius, King of Kings, himself.